Alex, Larry G in the house with a fix for you. Should you run into the same problem I had last week prior to leaving town for a week? I like to fish out at Fort Pickens quite a bit, and I haul my fishing cart out there. And that place is pretty thorny, depending on which access set you take to get out to the beach. And I ended up with a flat tire on one of my balloon tires on my fishing cart and had to come up with a way to repair it. Fortunately, it was just a pinhole and fairly easy to fix, but if you happen to get a flat tire on your fishing cart, balloon tire, this is the procedure and how I fix mine because it's ready to roll again. First thing you're going to have to do is take the tire off the cart. So it's got a slip ring on it, very easy to remove it, and then the tire will just come off with the rim, and that allows you to work with the tire pretty easily. The next step is you're going to inflate the tire up to pressure, and you are going to get some soapy water, so just some dish soap in a bucket with a sponge, and you're going to run that soapy water around the tire after you've inflated it up to pressure, and you will be able to find the hole that way. So the air will create bubbles coming out of the tire. So look for those bubbles, and that's where your hole is going to be located. And at that point, you want to dry the tire off with a rag and then just mark that hole with some type of marker, a Sharpie, whatever you have, even a ballpoint pen, just circle that area. If it's a small repair, like a pinhole, like I had from a thorn, it can be pretty easy to fix. If it's a bigger hole, like a small tear or a bigger puncture, you have the option to use what are called bacon strips. It's used in car tire repairs, bicycle tire repairs, and they make all kinds of kits. They're pretty easy to find, pretty simple ones you can find in the sub bicycle industry for bicycle tires. And then they make like a full on blown repair kit for car tires, which I don't think you really need, since these tires are pretty thin walled and don't need a lot of force to repair them. But if you have a bigger puncture, you're going to need a bacon strip to seal that hole up. Hopefully, get that done. And those tools are available in a variety of uh, ways to get it done. So they have thin bacon strips, thick bacon strips. It all depends on the size of the hole that you have in your tire. Fortunately for me, it's just a pinhole. So this is the process. Pump up the tire, find the leak with soapy water, dry it off, mark it. And then at that point, what I'm going to do is I used a soldering iron and got it up to 350 to 400 degrees, and then just very lightly wiped across the top of that pinhole so it melted the plastic of the tire. So you don't want to use a lot of pressure because you'll damage the tire permanently, but very light pressure to just kind of move some of that rubber over the pinhole until it's covered, and you'll be able to physically see that. And that at that point, let it cool off, and then pump the tire back up to pressure and get your soapy water and run the sponge over that spot where you had your pinhole. And at that point, hopefully you're not leaking anymore and the repair is complete, which was the case for me. So I just took 30 seconds with the soldering iron, kind of lightly went back and forth with it over the pinhole. That sealed it up. And then at that point, you want to reinflate the tire, soapy water. If there's nothing going on, what I then used was a UV product from my fly tying table. So just a clear coat UV cement and just dab that over the repair and then hit it with the UV light. The cool thing about that product is it's got kind of a soft finish. It's not brittle, so it won't break off. And that also, so that's like doubling up on the repair. And then at that point, clean my axles, re-lubed them. I actually use a wax-based lube on my axle to put the wheel back on. I just think that that lasts longer in our environment here. And I put the wheel back on, put the slip ring back on, and boom, we're done, ready to roll. So that's how you repair your flat fishing cart balloon tire. If you have questions or you have comments or you have better ideas, please leave them in the comment section. Otherwise, give me a like and a subscribe. Really appreciate that to keep the channel afloat. And that's it. Simple repair. If you have to go in with the bacon strip, you're actually gonna physically push that in with a tool, but I didn't have to do that, fortunately. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube that can show you how to do that. Fortunately, my repair did not require that. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you fixed that flat tire. LG, the Grumpy Panhandle Fisherman, I am out. We will see you soon.